is currently 6:17 in the morning. My iPhone is fully charged at 100%, and this is a day in the life with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Typically, I aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night, but because of the 6-hour time difference, my body has slowly been adjusting, and I now naturally wake up at sunrise almost every day. The view, the ocean, the smell of the air, it's just so peaceful. That's because I'm in Maui, Hawaii. However, sadly, today is my last day. Ever since this device has been released on launch day, I've been daily driving it, extensively testing it in every important practical category. And if you're new to the channel, here's how this all works. At the #1 spot is battery performance. This is Apple's biggest battery yet in the Pro Max, and as you can see, the two-tone isn't just for looks. There's actually some practicality built inside of that. An interesting fact that a lot of people haven't really realized yet is Apple claims over 5,000 milliamp hours without a physical SIM card slot. I know they're rolling it out in Canada, and while to some that may be a frustrating new change or feature, it's a good thing because it frees up more space for extra battery, and who doesn't want more battery? What's special about this device is it's not made with titanium anymore. It's aluminum, which has some pros and cons, but this new two-tone design is actually a vapor chamber, which in simple cools your device down faster, dissipates heat more efficiently, and doesn't cause your phone to overreact. What they don't tell you is that aluminum is one of the softest metals. People are already cracking, chipping, even breaking their phones, and this device hasn't even been out for a full month. To put that into perspective, one drop could cost you up to $800 in repairs. That's why I'm a firm believer that you should protect your new device with a high-quality case, specifically from Casetify. Take the Clear case, for example. Easily the most purchased, as it's cheap, which poses a gross problem. These cases yellow quick. To prove it, I soaked 2 cases in coffee for 4 hours. The cheap one instantly showed signs of wear and tear. However, the Casetify Clear case held up, looking brand new, all thanks to its UV Defender technology. I then ran 3 durability tests, first dropping it at waist height, head height, then off my desk. Usually, I'd be terrified, but I'm not. There's a few dings, scratches, but that's all completely normal. We're all good. Everything still works perfectly fine. Photo, video, can scroll through apps. With 21.3 feet of drop protection, the bounce corners not only absorb the shock, but can also function with a crossbody strap protecting what matters most. Lastly, I took a coin to the outer shell to see if aggressively scratching would ruin the print. The results clearly show it'll be able to withstand keys, your wallet, and other accessories jingling around. That's because the inner printing technology prevents it from ever fading. Look, I'd be lying if I said that Casetify cases aren't cheap. That's because they're not. It's like the saying, you wouldn't put cheap gas in a Lamborghini, so why do the same for your new phone? If you want my go-to choice and recommendation, you can save yourself 15% with the first link in the video description. And with that, back to the video. All right, now point number 2 is all about camera. Personally, this is what I care about the most. It's one of the main reasons why I opt for the Pro models instead of the base model. And this year, Apple did not disappoint. I want to clear the air that the new redesigned camera bump isn't just for looks. It actually allows every new camera sensor to now be 48 megapixels. That includes the telephoto lens, which I was most excited. However, that's not even the biggest change in terms of camera performance to this device. Let me explain. We were introduced to an all-new 18 megapixel front-facing square camera sensor. This opened the door for Apple to release new features such as Center Stage, which allows you to take a horizontal photo or video holding your phone vertically. And Apple also slipped into the event that we were getting ProRes RAW and Log 2. Majority of people will never use or never know about what those features mean, but as a creator, this was a feature I was excited to see. I'm now gonna go downstairs, grab some breakfast, and talk about point number 3. Final thing I'll be testing, and what I always test in every video, is performance. So Apple just introduced their all new A19 Pro chip, and this isn't anything exciting or crazy. This is just their standard basic routine upgrade that they do every year. What actually applies to me in my day-to-day life and to a lot of people is uploading photos, rendering videos, and just consuming social media on a daily basis. Is that faster? Is it more smooth? Do I notice a difference or a change? With all that said, by the end of this video, you'll be confident in knowing whether this year's device is worth picking up. The Pro lineup always consists of Apple's best, so I'm excited to push it to its limits and see what it can do. Surprisingly, a change I never thought I would make but ended up doing this year was getting the Pro Max. I was always gravitated to the smaller devices, but they always come with some sort of drawback, whether it's camera or, in this case, battery. My iPhone 16 Pro, after about 8 months of use, tanked in terms of battery performance, and it really showed. I could barely get through 6 hours of my day without it being at 5 to 10%. Before you know it, I was struggling to find an outlet if I was out on the go, and I just don't want to experience that anymore. Even though my hands are smaller, I'm thoroughly enjoying the larger display, and while it's a bit awkward to grip at times, I'm liking it so far. Do let me know in the comments. Are you somebody that prefers the Pro and agrees with my take, or are you somebody that just buys the Pro Max without even thinking because you know it's the best and the greatest that Apple makes? For some context, my flight today doesn't even leave till 6 o'clock tonight, which gives me a lot of time on my last day to really explore and push this device to its full potential. Obviously, I'm in a touristy spot, and they had a really good matcha that I bought for like $14, and I kind of want it again before I leave, so I'm gonna go grab me a matcha. As you can see though, the room is an absolute mess. I've been here since late Monday, so let's clean all of this up. Now, speaking from experience, whether it's listening to music or watching a YouTube video, the internal speakers are very loud and very impressive. So good, I didn't even think about using my AirPods throughout the entire week, which is something I almost always instantly gravitate towards. It is currently 8:20. I just finished organizing all my clothes and sorting through all my gear. At this time, I do have to get some work done, catch up on some emails, and post my short for the day. Before I go on any brand trip or vacation, I always make sure to double down on a few extra shorts that I can post throughout the week. But what's been messing with my brain this entire week is back home on the East Coast, I am 6 hours behind. My typical posting times are between like 12 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So because of the time change, I do have to post this early to make sure it goes out at the normal time that I would post on the East Coast. I try to aim for 2 to 3 high quality shorts that go out every week. On Monday, I posted a brand deal where I was in the works with Lenovo to show off one of their new gaming laptops, which was absolutely sick. And today's video is almost a beginner's guide to a new iPhone. I love taking an updated piece of tech and basically giving a beginner's guide to someone that may have just got it for the first time or don't know the best features or things that they should change. I'm talking about this because this is a very time-consuming process. I cross-post one video to 9 different platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Amazon, and LinkedIn. That's actually 10. So making sure my caption, hashtag, preview, sharing it, responding to comments, I mean, it's a lie. It takes about 30 minutes. Got a lot of questions on how I stay so consistent even on trips like this, so I thought I'd bring you guys along on a little behind the scenes. So let's get that video uploaded. Funny enough, I did actually make a small spelling mistake in my caption, and to some, they might just overlook this and post it because it's so quick, but I'm super over analytical and almost a perfectionist with my content. I want to keep it like as perfect as I can, so I'm gonna go back, change it, re-render it, airdrop it, then post it. This is just a prime example of some of the tedious things that a creator has to do to get a video out. TikTok posted. Another crucial thing that I take very important with my content is the preview. This is essentially the thumbnail for your shorts. So when people go on your page and look at all of your content, this is what they see first. It's almost like a thumbnail for a long form video. And I make sure to intentionally shoot a frame and edit some text with some cool motion designs to clearly depict what the video is about. So if someone is scrolling through my page, they know, oh, this video is 3 beginner iPhone tips. It's pretty clear, straightforward, and gets to the point. YouTube short. All right, it is currently 9:31 in the morning. We are currently sitting at 80% battery. All my videos are posted. I signed a contract and made a small revision. Previously mentioned, I am tracking heavily the battery performance, and something that I've been really enjoying is because this new device is made out of aluminum and not titanium, comes with some pros and cons. First of which is it's less durable. If you've just been on the internet, you've probably seen people drop this phone, get sharp dings in it, and I've been really careful with this device. But the pro of being aluminum is this phone never gets hot. Let me paint this picture very clear for you. I've been filming a lot this week on the newly released DJI Osmo Nano, the little brother to the Osmo Pocket, and I was importing the photos from the DJI app to the Photos app on my iPhone. About 32 minutes of video. It took about 8 minutes, and my phone did not get hot at all. And these were D-Log-M files shot in 4K 60, so high resolution files, which was very impressive. I also edit all of my photos in Lightroom, and anytime I export them, it's very fast, efficient, and I can quickly get them off to my social media in seconds without my phone heating up. The phone is very slippery, and you have to be very careful because it does ding and scratch much easier than titanium, but I don't know yet if I'm willing to take the thermal issues with a more durable device or less durable of a device with better thermals. You all let me know in the comments. Before I check out, I'd show off a quick hotel tour. Normally, I am showing off the hotel tour when I check into a destination, but this time it's a little bit different. We're actually leaving the destination. So let's do a quick walkthrough. When you first enter, we have 2 queen beds. We have a small couch over here where I've just kept my luggage, suitcase, and other things like that. We have a little table where I've used to charge all my camera batteries, keep most of my gear, a little bit of wall decor, a light, a mirror. This hotel bedding is amazing. Shout out Hyatt, whether you love hotel beds or hate them. I've had a great experience, and this one slept very, very good considering the big, massive time change. For here, we have some lights that are easily controllable and some backlit lights on the bed, which just adds a really cool look. Doing a quick 360, we have about, I would say, a 55-inch TV. We have some drawers down here where I've stored most of my gear, which I just need to double check so I don't forget anything. Refillable metal water bottles. So I've been using these the entire week because I forgot mine, so that's been super clutch. We have a small mini fridge down below. We also have this really nice ambient accent light, a chair, small desk where I've gotten some work done. The moment you're probably all waiting, the balcony view. Let's check it out. Now this has been my view for the past few days. It is absolutely beautiful. We get to see the entire ocean. We can see the mountains, people with boats, parasailing, jet skis. It's so cool. And then below here is a big field where they have activities in the morning, such as yoga. We played soccer over there earlier in the week. It was an absolute blast. A pretty tiny balcony. You can see some of the other ones. I feel kind of blessed. I think they're all about the same size. Mine does look a bit bigger. We have 2 chairs, small desk. So I've been getting some work done early in the morning. And of course, you can just shut the door like this. Speed running through the bathroom. We have motion sensor lights under the bed, which is really nice, especially if you wake up in the middle of the night. Absolutely so clutch. We have time on the mirror, motion sensor lights here. We have a small closet area with a safe, ironing, all the basics. We have a shower. I almost got locked out of this shower because the lock was a bit finicky and I thought I was done for. My phone was in here. I was almost cooked. Small shower, nothing too crazy, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Overall, you got the standard basic things that you need. The view carries. So giving it a rating out of 10, I'd give it a solid 9.6. It is currently 11:20. We are sitting at 62% battery life. We are right on the beach in Maui, Hawaii. Parasailers, jet skis, boats. It's probably one of the most surreal, beautiful places that I have ever been. But getting to the point, let's talk about the camera because I've had a lot of experience this past week taking photos, videos, zooming in, testing the new telephoto lens, and I have a lot to talk about. First off, there's really no difference between this year's main camera sensor and last year's main camera sensor, so you're not gonna notice a huge difference in terms of the main camera sensor quality, but where this device really shines is an ultra-wide and telephoto lens. I was blown away. I took so many pictures and videos, and the overall quality is stunning. I mean, you do not have to be an expert, a professional, at all to take an amazing photo or video on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. They make it so user-friendly, beginner-friendly that you can literally just whip out your camera, take a picture, you could be moving, shaking it, and the stabilization just makes it look like you framed the shot perfectly. Then of course, if you turn on practical settings such as a level and grid, you can really compose and frame a picture or video and make it look really good. There were so many times where I wanted to quickly capture the moment, and instead of bringing out my big, bulky, mirrorless camera, I just instantly picked up my iPhone because I know to my quality of standard that this performs to that level. And this is by far one of my favorite features. Let's talk about the new 8x optical zoom. So I'll throw up a bunch of pictures just showing it off, and it's impressive. I like that Apple is not doing a ton of AI refinement, making the image look fake. This is about the most natural zoom you'll get, and even going as far as 40x, while yes, it's not perfect, it's way better than I would have imagined considering it's digitally zoomed. But honestly, what I found myself using the most is the 4x times zoom. This felt like me using a tight lens on my camera. I was able to capture super tight composed shots farther away with crisp, clear quality, and even utilizing it in video turned out stunningly. I'm a firm believer that Apple does video best, and when you take a place like this where there's constantly blue, bright skies, green grass, pink flowers, it's nearly impossible to take a bad photo. Even when the sun sets in low light, this device performs. Apple has always played catch up with other devices in terms of digital zoom and fancy features, but when they implement their features in their own way and they take their precious time, they do it best, and they do a very good job at it. You are now seeing the new 18 megapixel front-facing camera sensor on the center stage. I'm holding my phone vertically, taking a horizontal video. This is by far one of the most convenient new features that Apple introduced on the 17 lineup entirely that has completely become game changer. It makes recording video and taking selfies with your friends, family, so much easier. Not to mention, the quality is actually very impressive. It does a great job at capturing detail. Nothing is oversaturated, over contrasty, too dark, too light. It's properly exposed, looks very, very good. Apple, you did a great job. I'm thoroughly impressed. One final feature I want to cover is raw photo. Now, while this isn't anything that is new for Apple, it's one of my favorite things that has always made me choose the Pro over the base model. They do take up larger file sizes, but if you are more of a photographer or enjoy the professional style like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, you're gonna love shooting in RAW. RAW photos always come out of the camera looking bland, dull, and not saturated at all, and that's the point. They're meant to be edited, tweaked, and enhanced for that amazing, beautiful photo style that you want. It just gives you a base starting point to kind of customize the image and get the look that you are desiring. Doing a midday check of today in terms of performance and battery, it's pretty solid. I mean, dipping below 50% is about expected considering that I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning and have extensively used this phone for capturing photos, shooting log, FaceTiming my fiance, uploading photos, posting all my videos. So I'm gonna get some grub, get some food in my system, and then head over to the airport. Now at this time, I downed my Jersey Mike's Philly cheesesteak, grabbed a soda, watched some YouTube, and relaxed for a bit. I want to quickly touch on the fact that the improved 3000 nits of peak brightness is noticeable, especially in bright sunny conditions. Shortly after, I was off to the airport to check my bag, head over to my gate, and test one last camera feature. One of the new features that Apple introduced was dual capture, which is basically where you can capture using the front-facing camera and the rear-facing camera. Now, granted, Snapchat has been able to do this for a while. Androids have been able to do it for a while. You all let me know, who is this for? I don't feel like I'll use this a lot, but it's definitely a cool feature. It is 4 o'clock. We are currently sitting at 39%. I use my phone to just browse through social media on the shuttle to the airport. We're fully checked in, heading to our gate. Things are looking good. Battery is definitely very impressive. Looks like we're gonna get through a solid day. What confused me the most is the one time I experienced thermal issues was on a freezing cold plane watching a movie. I woke up this morning at 6:15 a.m. and the phone officially died at 7:10 p.m., which means we reached 12 hours and 55 minutes. My plane landed at 5 a.m. that next morning. So to answer the question of would I recommend this, my short answer is if you're a creator and heavily value photo, video, and battery, you won't be disappointed. As always, really curious your thoughts and opinions. Like and subscribe if you got value from today's video, and I will catch y'all in the next one.